You have to know me to know me. You have to check my name. Something that I learned, I beyond, to be honest with you, I beyond the old people that taught me. The memory that I had is about life killing, like how I survived. That's why it take me so long to finish it. I wrote it, I walk away. I put it down, I walk away. Fighting is just one part of my story. Killing is just one part of my story. Surviving is just one part of my story. Helping people is another story.
How's everything been, Pat?
I just got back to Vegas.
Nice. How's it
What?
work? Oh, you're back.
I just got back like an hour ago, so I'm just kind of a mess right now.
Yeah, I should
There
wear
you go.
my
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, yeah, thank you.
I like the cover photo.
Yeah, it's Kenya's book right here. All right. So
I have one over here. I have one
you
over
got it
here.
there. Oh, nice.
Is that the original copy, original draft? Or is that the back of it?
I think it's on Amazon, right?
It's the same one. Oh, very cool.
I think some notes
So
here
it's
too.
Kenya Prach? Is that how to pronounce it?
Yeah, Prach. Yeah, it's a French. You can pronounce as French, Prach.
Prach. Got it. And then you're Cambodian?
Yeah, Cambodian. Yeah, but I think probably somewhere down that road.
Got it. Pat, what do you call him, like seafood? Do you call him Prach? What do you usually call him?
I think some people will call him Crew, but I just call him Kenya.
Kenya.
But technically, he is Crew for me. Hey, are you? He's
does
Crew for
Crew
me,
mean?
but I don't. I'm just used to calling him Kenya, so it's just weird for me to call him Crew. But I mean, if
Yeah.
you were to be more specific, he is Crew.
What does crew mean?
Like kind of like master, right, Kenya? In the
Cruise.
Cambodian or Thai?
It's different. In Chinese, kung fu they call sifu.
Mm,
Cruise is more in Cambodian and Thais and Laos.
got it. And
Yeah, true. That's how they call. Or sometimes they call master, so that way it cover up the whole the whole in Southeast Asia. But traditional why Cambodian they call crew. Yeah. Mhm.
got it. And what is the main martial arts you teach, Kenya? Is it Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing?
My background is they call a complete Khmer Cambodian martial art. They call Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer. But mainly right now recognized is by Bokator. They call it Bokator. Bokator is a one of technique. One is a one style in Cambodian in Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer.
Got it. And do they do Bokator in the Olympics?
You know what? Bokator, they try to get into an Olympic right now because the UNESCO just recognized. So they will, they will push it because Bokator is Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer and Bokator is original, the root of the Cambodian martial art that it belonged to Cambodian for century. Put this way, yes. And then I'm so lucky that I have a chance to learn when I was young. Not too many master or a crew survive during the Khmer Rouge, and only a few. It doesn't matter what country you at. You know that it's a lot of copy, duplicate, and stuff like that. I don't want to go that far, but luckily that I learned this when I was young, so they gave me the foundation and what the Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer is. So Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer is it's cover up overall. It's like ground, stand up, wrestling, judo, weapons, any weapons. It's just like you have to learn how to complete of that. But overall, and in this world, who know or completes the whole set? Doesn't matter you in the Shaolin Kung Fu, right? It's no one perfect, learn perfectly under Shaolin complete set. You had to spend all your life, I think, in,
For sure.
in in order to to catch up all those technique and all kind of style like that. So that's why, like I said, I'm just so lucky that it taught me since I was young. So that's why I'm good with the combat fighter. So it's fit MMA pretty much pretty well. Yeah.
And then Kenya, Bokator, what was like where does it like how you said it's centuries year old? What are the different martial arts that sort of got inspiration from it or copied it? And what like is Shaolin older than Bokator? Where did Bokator get inspiration from?
You know, in Southeast Asia, I don't know much deeper in the history of that. We all kind of mix together, combine together, and learn from here and there. And everyone claims that this is mine, and this one claims this is mine, right? So, but all I do know is century. They carve it in the stone in Angkor Wat. They call it Angkor Wat in Cambodian. You never been there? Okay, Angkor Wat is just kind of like Egyptians, temple, but real famous is really big, real famous. I think it's number two, number in the world or something like that.
Angkor
What
Wat?
I
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So Patrick must be say correctly more than I am.
Oh
in
no,
in
well you have this in you say in Cambodian, but in English is Angkor Wat, Ankornwat. Wat
Mm,
means temple. I'm not sure what anchor means, Kenya, but I just know Wat is temple.
yeah. Angkor Wat. The Angkor Wat is the name of the original of the used to be a king, a royal like in dynasty, dynasty during the in China you see that dynasty and stuff like that. They have their own soldiers
Mm.
and protects the king, the queen, the country, all those kind of stuff like that. So that's what Khmer martial art is learned from there. The one is for fit for the army soldier, and one is for like more like a self defense, like a crew, like outside, like like a local fighting, protecting animals and kind of protecting, but how you call it, self defense like that. Yeah.
Got it. And where's like the sport of Bokator now today? Is there like a large population of people in America training it? Is it still very popular in Cambodia?
Bokator right now is popular because, like I said, UNESCO recognized, um, just recognized it. I think last year, I mean this year, and mainly it's in Cambodia, mainly in Cambodia. So, but the world kind of recognize right now. They kind of like, oh, Bokator kind of unique style, the way you see it. But again, I learned Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer again. Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer is to cover up the whole Cambodian martial art. Bokator just one style in there. Just remember that. And Bokator is mainly say Bok Tao, Bak Tao. Bak is more like you in Cambodian say like boxing, Bak, like, but in Cambodian say Bak, they mean white. I say in Cambodian, white, Tao, Bokator, Tor, right? Lion. So fight with lions. So they fight against lions. That pretty much it's just something like that. But
Mm.
just like I said, even those this age already, and then back then, even my grandma masters and monk, the great, they even them they have They just like, no one know deeper. No one. It's just they know that exists. Cambodian martial art is built it, have their own style, unique that, but no one know exactly deep, inside to what it is, uh, much, because it's just a sport, right? It's not a, it's what I say is like, in Asia, right? We sport is the main one of the main thing popular in Asia, but again, how do you're not gonna use sport to make a living, right? Sport is just to discipline. Sport is just to be self-defense, protect animal again, enemy and stuff like that. So when it for the long run, long in nowadays, of course, it's good for your body, something like that. But let me explain to you Bokator. Bokator is kind of have two type. Cambodian martial arts that have two type. It doesn't matter Shaolin Kung Fu, right? The Kung Fu, the similar karate or Taekwondo, doesn't matter. Always have a two, right? One is form, one is fighting technique for competition, right? So luckily that I learned competition, self defense, more like a combat fighter. And the reason that because when I was young, they put me in the temple in Cambodia. Since I was young, they trained because I used to fight. They call Padal Sarai. Padal Sarai is more like a freestyle, not a freestyle, like a regulation, rule and regulation, like a Muay Thai fighter, like that. That's Padal Sarai have that also to fight on inside the ring. You have a point, you have referee, you have they call like a regulation like that. Bokator, Kbach-Kun-Khmer, Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer, they have no rule. So when they fight to death. They they fight to death. So you cannot use that. You understand what I'm saying, right? So but they taught me in the way that I learned it. They taught me to protect, for innocent people, to represent temple, to represent my culture, to represent my country. That's what they want me to do, not to show, not to macho, not to uh, tell people that, oh, I know this, I know that. No, that's what Patrick, he know me for many years. I never told. I just teach people. I just said, you know correct them and teach them the best what I can to improve individual person, student. That's my philosophy of teachings as well.
Is it common in Cambodia where the temples all teach martial arts?
No, no, no. Remember, temple is a peaceful pray, nothing involved with fighting. I lucky that the monk, the head of a monk, know head of monk. He trained me mentally, respect and care, not to hurt anybody. Even he know, but he don't teach me how to hurt someone. But my uncle and the old people, the master, old people live in the temple, taught me how to finish the job. you know how do I perform to do or in the ground you do like this, stand up you do like this, stick fighting weapon you do like this. So that's why it's so completely set. But again, doesn't matter what country you went, right? You see so many phony. They That's what I recommend people learn martial art, chose wisely, especially kid choke wisely, look it clear before you start to do something, especially kid, kid absorb like a sponge. And then when they learn something, it's like young yourself, right? If you learn the wrong move with the wrong martial art, it will damage your joint, your whatever body that you try to adapt it to. So that's what really important in martial art. It's not just all martial art is it perfect good. You have to select the one that if you don't know enough, just ask for professional, ask for advice. Like I said, hey, I am skinny like this, and I want to learn something, protect myself. What the best for me to go for? Ask 2 or 3 professional. They will tell you, said, hey, I'm BJJ's jiu-jitsu. I love my jiu-jitsu, right? You can start with that. Or I say, okay, if you said, well, what jiu-jitsu is that? You just look at that. Okay, let me go jiu-jitsu. And then professional will tell you, say, okay, my sensei here, he had a black belt solid from this, right? It's not like, I'm a BJJ, but I'm a happy dough. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? You you have to you have to kind of, I'm a kickboxing fighter. I'm very good with kickboxing, but I'm happy though. Does that make sense? So you have to kind of look through that page clearly. That you have to, before you join something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, for example, like let's say I want to pick a martial arts. For example, I want to, I travel a lot. I go to, Asia, Europe. I want to go to South America. And I'd like to learn something that would give me a bit more confidence where I wouldn't have to be scared walking at night. What martial arts would you recommend?
Okay, Jeff, what you're asking me is self-defense only, not pursue not pursue a professional career, right? Okay. So me personally, right? I'm going to make it, for example, like 3 choice, like that, right? Striking, like basic striking, not advanced. Basic striking, basic self-defense striking, like, but again, learn how to punch correct way, learn how to kick correct way, know how to do knee correct way, know how to elbow correct way. What I mean that correct way, even though you learn 4 technique, correct way. And then you'll go to ground jiu-jitsu to prevent, for example, they choke you, how you get away from the choke, or even like how I gonna let that into that situation. I'm not allowed that happen before that, right? But in case it happened, what can I do? You understand what the term of self-defense? Okay, it's not like a lot of self-defense out there. I don't mean judge anybody. Okay, you cannot teach a woman self-defense 50 self-defense technique and try to dominate a guy. Even a guy doesn't know how to fight. He's strong enough more than a woman, right? The best self-defense, alert around you, looking for help, prevent not to escalate the fight. Or you know that they're gonna rob you, trick them, psychology them, do whatever the best can. If you cannot hack, simple thing, do simple thing, run away. Don't try to be macho. No, no. It's nowadays weapons, knife, right?
Mhm.
So this is a self-defense I recommend anybody want to learn, especially women.
Mhm.
Do not try to escalate anything that, oh, you know what, I learned from crew Kenya 2 years, I can have enough to beat. No, I'm not gonna tell you to do something like that. No, I said, you know what, the best way, whatever you have it, give to them, just a subject, just the money, just save your life better, walk away and report, right? But in the situation that that they're gonna hurt you, or they might, your life in jeopardy, then scream for help. Do what the best you can do in that minute. That I train you to protect yourself, right? To save your life in that minute, right? So sometimes you survive in 5 minutes, or something like that, and you got attention to surrounding, and people come in to help you out like that. So, or you scream it loud enough, and he just say, "Oh wow, I'm not gonna stay around." So he's take off,
Mhm.
right? Or something like that. So you kind of self defense. You have to kind of learn not just a technique. Is learn how to observe surrounding you. Learn how to mentally what is it. But if you walk into a mentally person, like he doesn't know, he doesn't care. So the best way is just run, run the fast you can, and scream for help. That's it, right? So that that's what my recommend to you. So if you're not pursue a career as a professional fighter, yeah.
And yeah, on the so survival is another thing that you mentioned. Yeah, so did would you say martial arts help you with like, your survival going through the whole Khmer Rouge, going through the genocide? Like what you say, like how did martial art kind of give you that survival mentality? And how did, how and what is it being like in survival mentality? Because Andy and I were very lucky we don't have to go through, whatever you did. So, how did martial arts help you? And like you kind of describe how it feels to have this mentality of survival.
Um, Andy, do you know? Did you heard anything about the Cambodian killing field? Okay. Um, 1975 to 1979, Cambodian under the Pol Pot, they call it the Khmer Rouge, that almost 4 years, just said almost 4 years. I said 4 year, why? Because of after the Khmer Rouge, and still people still suffer until now. Come back with the question, why? What martial art give me the tool? Again, in the old day, I'm so respectful, I'm so thankful for the real martial art that I learned, that not to show off, not to drag, to tell, and be put myself in a low key situation, and also mentally prepare me for any situation. So that's why I survived 3 million people murder, kill, and I'm one of the lucky ones. Why? Because of martial art give me those tools to low myself, to put to calm myself down, to read the people around me, know what the situation. You know, it's not like when you learn martial art, you can send the people that going to harm you. You can feel the people that not honest to you, that he tried to trick you here and there. So you can have no kind of sense. And then martial art will discipline me, save my life by put me in the low key, a humble way, that I doesn't matter what it is, I always, yes sir, yes sir, not fighting back, yes sir, and doesn't matter what they ask me, what is your background? She said, I'm just a farmer, no knowledge. So that's the tool that gave me the survival of. On top of that, I don't know how I survived there without food. Because during the Khmer Rouge, we have no food to eat, and we drink all kind of murky waters, dirty. One of the dirty. I mean, some of the food that I ate, I know that going to cost me in the long run, and it's going to cost me for my uh, internal organs. But that surviving mode, that I want to live that one day first. I don't want to die. I want to eat that food before I die. I don't want to suffer You don't say surviving mode. So I don't care what it is. I just eat, I drink. That's it. And then when I sleep, so make sure I'm peaceful sleep, and then go. That that's a that's the survival mode that I had during the Khmer Rouge. Yeah,
Kenya, how old were you during the Khmer Rouge?
I'm 15 years old. I'm adult, pretty much young adult, and my life I never experienced the comfortable. I never experienced the child to be a young teenager is supposed to grow up, right? I haven't. I never experienced that. I never experienced because I just grew up. I just bloomed, and there you go. Witnessed all the killing field. That's why throughout the day I give back. You have to know me to know me. I don't want to say it for myself, like I'm this, I'm that, and you have to check my name, Kenya Project. Check and what people been around with me many years, what I did for community and what I did for the people. And when I teach something. I want to make sure that my student know exactly that he stepped into my dojo, you know, or under me. I want to make sure that that's why I don't want to say like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, thing like that. I let my students speak it for me, so that way it's much better. Right? Yeah.
Now, why did your parents send you to the temple and why did the elders teach you how to, finish the job? Were they prepping you for war? Did they know something bad was going to happen?
My culture, Cambodian, is really Cambodian people back then is really peaceful, respectful, friendly culture. Each family that I've been around, each family that I grew up surround me through my neighborhood, through someone neighborhood, they all welcome. It's such it's like I told you in Cambodian back then when I was young, every house is no lock, even no door. So it's no thief. You know what I'm saying? All right. And they don't care much about stuff because they invite you. If they cook something, you pass by, they invite you to go in their house to eat dinner with them or whatever they want you want to do. This is like my house is yours, like that. So let me explain to you why I learned Bokator. I graduate 15 years old, 14 14 I graduate. I mean, in Cambodia, it's kind of high school, like kind of high school, but in Cambodia, they don't call high school. They call, like you no more class. You don't have class. You had to go college. So I'm too young to grad. I'm so young to graduate it because they jump me so many. Because my family is a study family. We learn day and night. I'm sure in China, same thing. In Asia, right? Everyone study when it's talk about in Taiwan, you study like 20, around the clock, right? That's how we study. So the same as me, the same as my family, we study. We don't go to out. We don't go to see movie. We don't go nowhere. We just study straight. Go home study. Go home study like that. So I graduate early. So when I have time, so many time in my free time, so I end up see the Padalsaray, the fighting, like a competition. I like it, and also I saw movie all the time, Bruce Lee, karate, all the old day and the old movie. So I like it. So I kind of like try to copy the Bruce Lee. I try to copy the Chinese, the karate. I copy and jumping. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Put this way, but in learning of kicking, punching, something like that, you kind of into you, and you try out in the ring for young kid. They call open ceremony. When the kid fighting, they, they let you fight for a young kid first. Open ceremony before adult fight. So That's what I did. I started, and of course, my parents were not gonna like it when they heard that. So they were afraid that I'm going to become a bad boy. They're afraid that I'm gonna go to the wrong way, the wrong route. So that's what they said. Well, you know what? I'm gonna send. They're not gonna tell me, but they set it up me up perfectly with my uncle. That's what they send me to a different city. That's what I have a chance to learn Kbach-Kun-Boran-Khmer, Bokator. That's
Wow.
what that story. So same time when you're young, you learn, right? I mean, nobody give you the lucky. My uncle taught me, the old teacher taught me, the monk taught me, and my another uncle taught me. So I'm blessed because that's I you never have a in Cambodia before someone accept you to teach you something. You have to very disciplined. You have to be good. You have to be, I mean, patient. So I pass all that. I respect, so they like me, and then plus I pick up things fast. So that's how I learn, and then something that I learned, I beyond to be honest with you, I beyond the old people that taught me. When I learn something, I more like I pick up the speed like 1 to 9, I go to 12 already, like that, something like that. So I'm pretty fast and pretty strong, and it's just in me. I don't know why, but I just pick up things fast. Yeah.
Interesting. So you were 14 when you went to the temple, when you started learning Bokator, and then 15, Khmer happened.
I learned on the 13. I graduate, right? 13 or 14. I don't remember too long, but with that 2 year, that's what I learned Bokator. Yeah.
How many hours do you train back then? I don't even know. I don't even think that's in your book.
Uh, I just put surface. I just, because of this is like I did put it, but I'm not. It's just like
Not much detail. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
what I'm saying. It's just like
yeah,
that. So it's a plus for you, Eddie.
yeah.
Yeah, because
How many hours do you
I
guys?
tried to finish my another book to clean it up or the detail, and then it's a lot more, like 30-40% more in that. This book is just like 60-70% of my story, so 30-40 more still up there. I just it's a lot of information in my life, my whole life career. You know, not just about the killing, but during the Thailand and United States itself by itself.
So after you trained for 2 years, the Pol Pot, the Khmer, that's when that happened. Like how did it happen? What's the history behind it? Because I don't know, and I think a lot of people watching this won't know. Like, what is Pol Pot? What is the Khmer? Why did it happen? What was it?
Pol Pot is mainly the politics, communist, communism. Back then, like a democratic, right? They, you have more freedom. You have to do what you like what we United States or in the, some part of the world. But the corruptions in a small country, corruption is so much. That's what I heard. For example, young, they don't like the corruption, and you do one thing, you had to go through so many under table into get into the job. So they don't like it. So the student doesn't like it. The business people don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like all those kind of stuff like that, and that's why Pol Pot have advantage, and they ran into to live in the jungle. They live in the jungle, and they build their own soldiers to become Khmer Rouge. They call Red Khmer. It's the same Laos, the same Laos. Laotians. They have red Lao. Cambodia the same thing. I'm sure China same thing. Red China.
Yeah,
Back then. Before, like before the.
Vietnam too has
It's
it.
just like
And he's Vietnamese, so I think he might know some
Become.
of this detail. Yeah.
yeah. So all those kind of stuff. It's everything is based on a politic. But again, they play the right politic. They convince the poor people to believe on their side. Said, we're going to clean the country. We're going to give back, you know, all the people right. We're gonna give you no one. So people like to hear that. Just hear that. But when they took over, that's when they start killing you. It's
they
one of the worst genocide in the world. You have to know. You have to read my book. I wish that I, can send you one or something. You have to read my book. I want people to read this book. This book is really important.
So Pat, how long ago did he write the book?
I think he's been working on this for a while since I known him. I think he just recently just got this produced. Yeah, I think because like I think because he couldn't, he hurt himself, so he couldn't. He started to do this. So yeah, it's been a while for him, and he tried to do like a whole. I think eventually wants to do like a whole movie about his life. So hopefully this book could give a good story for people like producers and stuff, so he could yeah, get this going out.
This book is really. I don't mean to say that's really important, but people should read it. Why 3 million innocent people got killed without no reason? That's just one thing. And then how I survive, how I give it back. What did I do to give it back to community, even though I'm poor? And everything that I work, everything that I build, I have nobody give me a road or give me a hand. Like, okay, Kenya, here, you do this, it's good for you with it. I never have that luck. I never have that enjoy life luck. No, I never ever have that luck. So everything I did it from for myself. I work very hard. I work very hard to become who I am today. And at the same time, I so blessed that I ran in, met like, Patrick, the student, that support me and understand what my background is. And the most, they understand what I do for community, what I did for the people surround me. So that's the most important. So I cannot, again, I can't speak for myself, and I let my students tell people, told people more, and again, I just do my best. Yeah, that's why I make this book. I want people to read it, and especially kid. Kid, they said, I grew up without my parents around. I grew up without my dad, my mom. I poor. I in one of the worst, stay in the worst neighborhood that you ever. I've been there. I want them to. I want to know. I want them to know in this book. Read it, and you know what my ground is from my country to Thailand to the United States. I want them to see it. That did I harm anybody? Did I steal anybody a penny? Did I want to get rich and just, you know, no, no, that's not me. That's not me at all. No, I. It's not good for me. Put this way, I think people first, which is the wrong way. People always told me the same thing. But if you put your shoe in my situation and you witness my family, my friend, and the people around me, they got killed before they got killed, that they asked me for help, then you know why I do this. And again, thank you, Andy, for pass on. It's important for people to read my book, and then this book is not just I want to make money. No, no, it's not that I want to be famous. Not that. No. Again, bless that God give me another so many chance. It's not just one chance. God gave me so many chance to live, to speak, to inspire people, to have a voice for the people that lost their life, and a voice for the next generations.
That's beautiful, Kenya. I really appreciate you putting together the book. Pat, is there any questions that you wanted to ask, or anything you think that the audience should hear? Any questions that you have for Kenya?
Kenya, how many years did you accumulate all these notes in your book? How many years of work did you have to put into to make this thing?
This book I wrote since 1983, 84. I start to put it out.
Mm.
But every sentence, because I'm not I'm not a writer, and I don't have education. I came here zero education, none. You can listen to me right now. You see what the language I try to tell you. You
Uh,
might confuse you, or it might hard for you to understand it. But again, everything's I work hard. I learn so hard. I put myself in the school. It's not the best of the school, but I should make it. I make it happen. This is not, the book that I want to become famous. I just want people to read what is out there. Even the world right now is still going on out there. Believe me, you just help each other so that way the war doesn't knock on your door anytime soon. Again, let me go back to why I wrote this book for many years but never completed. It's because you have so many bad memory. And the memory that I had is not like, hey, the guy beat me up. I went there, I broke. No, no. The memory that I had is about life, killing, life killing, like how I survive. So every time I try to put the pen to write down, it it bring me back. When it bring me back there, I don't feel good. It
mm,
don't. It's just like you try to bring all the horrible, the brutal that people's not supposed to witness. People's not supposed to go been through like that. So the pain inside me for my family, for my friend, for my people, and for the people around the world, especially the kid like my age during that time that got killed. They have no clue why they got killed. So that that's why it take me so long to finish it. I wrote it, I walk away. I put it down for cut this, I walk away. That's it. So I had to clear out all
mm,
those, before I start. That's what my note is not complete, breaking it down here and things like that.
I see.
So, but to the point, I just pray. I prayed it, and then I just say like, you know what? I'm old. Um, if I don't put that word in the book, I might disappointed. You know, before I gone this from this world, I might really disappointed that I promised them that I will have a voice for them.
Mm,
So that voice, that's just like I said, and this is just one part. Khmer Rouge just a one part of my story. Even though 3 million people got killed, that's just a one part, just a one part only. It's so many parts in this book. I encourage people to buy it, to read it, or buy it to donate it to someone, or whatever you want to, donate it for good cause. Because this book will bring to one child, will bring to a kid. That kid gonna do something to protect the human beings in the next, generation. So that's why. And then so I'm I don't know what to tell people. How important. Of course, everyone just try to want to sell the book. They always say, "Hey, my book is the best book. My book, this and that." I don't want to say that. I just want to say this is important information that people should read it. That I put my life, my whole life, I witnessed that I'm there. I want people to read that, and then you spend this book one. You spend like you go out to eat one bowl of noodle soup cost more than my book. So just stop eat one one no noodle soup bowl and then just got my book. So I will appreciate it. Yeah.
and Kenya, Annie and I are in a different generation, and your kids are in maybe around Annie's generation. Just in a short summary, what kind of lessons and what kind of what do you kind of want to see for the next generation? You know, just from your story.
Not greedy.
Not greedy. Mm,
My if I have I'm rich today. If I'm rich today, what I'm looking for is people that really need help. I mean that real need help, like myself when I first came to United States. or even though I came to United States already, I have no job. I apply anywhere. Nobody hire me. Even the janitor, not even hiring me. I wish that one of those rich people saw me and give me say, "Hey, can I hear the job? You want to learn something? Let me take you to learn something." I wish, I wish it happened to me. That's what I told you. I never have luck like that. I work, start from security guard, $3.15 an hour in Chicago, Illinois. I applied twice. First time I applied, they don't take me. 2 year, 2.5 year later, I applied, they took me. You see
Mm.
how janitor? Just a janitor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is my life. That's my life. I never, and still, I still smile. I still don't do bad thing. I still do good thing for the people to know. And I want United States. I appreciate the United States that brought me here, give me opportunity, especially my life. Second, give back. That's what I give back. I always give back. And I did everything I give back. And Patrick, you heard it all the time, many years.
Mhm.
I encourage everyone to do good thing for people. That's what my philosophy of life, my encourage for the generation and the rich people, $1 million that you do a party, you do for your famous thing like that. I know your money. I know I'm not supposed to tell you what to do, what you do with your money. I'm not supposed to because I'm poor and you rich. I'm not. I have no choice to. I have no right to say anything to whatever you do because that's your. But before you out from this world, have people like me that help other persons, the rest of people. Give him something. That thing will generate a long run for the people future. Maybe one of your cousin, maybe one of your kid when you're gone. You never know. That the one that you give to him, it might be, it might be, it's a long process, a benefit for your family as well. You never know. So that's what I recommend. For next generation, if you rich, you have money, and you want to do because if I donate my share, I donate my money, I had to climb return tax. So I had to do a non-profit so that way I can write tax off.
Yeah.
Try try to think of people like me that I don't want your money. I just want to help community, but I don't have non-profit. Just try to think that some people you $1 million spend $1 million like a penny to them. $100 is like $1 million for me. It's psychology. It's not like a psychology, but that's how I earn my living. That's how I survive throughout the day because I never experienced a fancy restaurant. I'm hardly go to see a movie. I never went to a nightclub once. I never went to a bar once in my life. I know it's sad, but that's my life. My life is not, it's not, the world's not on my side, this life. But oh well, right?
Mm.
They saved me to speak, they saved me to educate, they saved me to inspire. So it's my time to come up. And that's why the book Black Stone Hand is not just a book. It's not the Black Stone Hand just a survival, one of survival. No, there's a lot of meaning inside there, and read and pass on. Yeah.
Well, you never took your fighter's money, so I already know, Kenya. So
Oh, thank you.
I already know.
That's what I you have to know, Andy. A lot of kids, I took them from home to my school. Never take them a penny. Back and forth, back and forth. Even though I find a job for them, if I have something, I always like doing like that.
someone professional too. You never took a purse, you know.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. It's someone professional fighter. I never take money from them.
you never took a purse. You never
Why?
did. Yeah,
They said a lot of my students know. Patrick, no.
yeah,
Patrick, no.
I know.
That's me. That's me. That's what Andy. You have to know me, to know me. When I say something like that, people just said, he just want to advertise himself to become something. My
Yeah.
word is clearly, uh, I appreciate, but I'm not, I'm more like more than an elephant. I remember people. When people hype me, oh, I do anything to have them back. I do anything. Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Kenya, also, I guess some fun questions for you. I do remember you told me some big names when you were boxing back in the day. What were some big names you sparred with? What were some big names or some
Mhm.
like famous boxers you were able to box with back in the day?
I it
It's
might
not in the book, by the way. This is extra, not even in the book.
yeah, it might often to do them. It might often. I mean, I don't want to say it in media. They might be come back to you like, oh, hey, that's not, I beat him up like this, like that, like that. So I rather let them know sooner or later that thing gonna come back to them, and they say, oh yeah, I know, I remember Kenya. Said, we used to spar together, we used to do this together, like that. I rather like that come back. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
want to often, right? What? Yeah,
You know, review those. Okay, that's cool. All good.
because of again, macho is one thing, and record is another thing. If I say something specifically to someone successful right now, like for example, you know that a lot of fight boxing going on nowadays. You see that, hey, I used to spar him. I beat him. I hurt him like this. And another guy said, even though real, another guy said, no, he touched me, but I'm fine. You think I remember I hit him too, like this and that. So end up it doesn't, that's the point, yeah. But you know, um, fighting is just one part of my story. Killing is just one part of my story. Surviving is just my one part of my story, and helping people is another story. So it's many story after story in my book. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today, Kenya. I can, really see that this is something that you're passionate about. You have a lot to share. You have a very big story, and I think we've only scratched the surface today. But I really appreciate your sort of willingness to just help people and sort of just pass it forward. Like you probably, your upbringing was just very, very tough, and I can't imagine what it must have been like growing up through the Pol Pot, through the Khmer Rouge. Like that is crazy how you're sort of able to make it through and keep staying positive and happy. And I think I really, love your message, and I really appreciate your time today and what you've done over the last, your whole life, your last 50 years.
Thank you, Andy, for bring me up, and thank Patrick that hooked me up with the. Again, I'm not good with medias. I'm not a kind of raw person, and I have no reach out. And everything I did by myself, and at least people saw me like Patrick. He know who I am, and from my heart to someone, I'm a real. I'm a real guy. When I say something, I mean it. When I do something, I do it. And but it's a lot, it's a lot restrict that I'm not a wealthy guy. I don't have support. So thank you for support me, Andy. Thank you for support me. Let my story out there, and people will appreciate you as well because of you not just brought a story like myself. You bring a lot of story up in your channel, and this one, when people, one day people gonna listen to this one, and they will understand what I'm trying to tell them, why they should do one thing, good cause one thing before they leave this world. So just do something good cause, then, and appreciate life. Uh, your family, your loved one, your friend, your whatever around you, the first one first, and then start to reach out for to help people. And then when you do that, your heart is clear. Your heart is more pure, clear. Then you not to worry about people that, oh, this person want something from me. This person want something from me. Now, when you clear heart like myself, go ahead and take. Because I have nothing to give them anymore because I give them all already. so, so, so that's my life story. Against I put a lot, a lot on this one, a lot. I don't know how much can I explain it. I know the words, the writing is not a perfect like what, like pop, like the what are the famous book in New York, the bestsellers or whatever thing. I wish them read this book. I want them to read this book.
Kenya, where can people buy the book? Where can they find out more about you?
Um, they c- they they can Google my full name, Kenya Prach, or they can go Kenya Prach. Yeah, Kenya Prach. Just Google Kenya Prach or Black Stone Hand. So they put me all the platform, and then
So it's
again
Kenya Prach, Kenya, Prach Prach, and then you guys could just search up Black Stone Hands.
yeah, Prach.
yes.
Yeah, Kenya Prach, like this one.
You
Cannot
can't
see
see.
it, huh?
Yeah,
Can you see the
right here. I got
underneath?
it right here. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Kenya, where could they find you on Instagram and social media? If actually, do you like people talking to you on those things?
Just uh, um, women, how they find me?
Yeah.
They just Google my full name.
No, on Instagram and Facebook. You
Uh-huh.
use. Yeah, where could they find you on Instagram?
We'll link in the description below.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Prach Bokator or Kenya Bokator.
Okay.
Bokator. Yeah, Kenya Bokator, Bokator. Yeah.
Is that the right handle, Pat? Do you have the handle on your phone, on your Instagram? Do you have the
I
I
IG?
have it. I'll send it to you. I'll send it out to the call then.
Perfect.
Yeah. Please, yes, please, Andy. Please, I really appreciate for your time. And then I know you're busy guy, and I'm glad that I run into Patrick, and he's one of my students support me because, like I said, I don't want to speak for myself, and he, saw me through his career, and not, I have a lot of students, but again, right? I give possible I can. I support them. I not just a martial art; it's a career wise. So we exchange that possible, and then he told you already. Even I'm poor, I don't even charge the money, and the people they pay. Some people willing to pay someone $200-300 an hour and learn nothing. Learn something that I train them at 10 minutes worse than them for for whole day. So 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 it just those kinds long again a long story short, and it it the messages is I want the people to hear the messages about my book, my good cause. I spent 35 years my time just try to help community people in general with my own time, my own money. Again, I want people to know that that's the give back for United States. That I came here, I give it back. I don't take advantage of the system. No, I work hard. I work all my life. Just work and just try to help other persons. I opened the gym. I don't have enough money. I took my work money to put it just to make the gym for people to can train. That's the person I am. That's what I said. I wish millionaires saw this and give opportunity, you know, to me so I can give more to other person. That's that's my messages. Yeah. But thank you again, Andy. Appreciate that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kenya. I really appreciate your time today. Pat, thank you so much for the introduction. Thanks for tagging along and jumping on the call. It was good to get like another perspective as well, and you asked great questions as well, Pat. So yeah, this is another episode of the podcast. Hopefully you guys got some value. I had a blast learning about sort of the Cambodian history and just hearing more about what it's like over, in the 80s over there and what happens. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Please let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next week on another episode of the podcast. Peace.